All right, folks, let's call the meeting to order.
Mike?
Deborah, when you're ready, will you call the roll?
Mic on, please. Mayor Bright Cruz,
Mayor Bright Cruz, are you here?
Vice Mayor Hartman,
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, here.
Councilmember Albritton,
Present.
Councilmember Jablonski,
Here.
Councilmember Kaczynski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All righty, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we were going to have a motion to excuse the mayor, but he's on from half a world away. So welcome, Steve. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here. Good to be here. In the middle of the Tasman Sea, but this technology is great.
Well, we'll mark it down in the minutes that you're the first mayor to call in from the Tasman Sea. All right, so this evening we have a proclamation. I'll read it in a moment, and, I'll read it now. Whereas the public procurement profession plays a significant role in the efficiency and effectiveness of both government and business, and whereas, in addition to the purchase of goods and services, procurement adds value to the organization by performing such functions as executing, implementing, and administering contracts, developing strategic procurement strategies, and cultivating working relationship with suppliers, other procurement professionals, and other departments within the organization. And whereas public procurement professionals in the town of Southwest Ranches and other public-private organizations have tremendous influence on the economic conditions in the United States, with cumulative purchasing power running into the billions of dollars. Whereas procurement of the town of Southwest Ranches is committed to providing high-caliber strategic, logistical, and operational support for all departments within the town of Southwest Ranches, and whereas procurement and the town of Southwest Ranches recognize, support, and practice the public procurement values and guiding principles of accountability, ethics, impartiality, professionalism, service, and transparency as established by the Institute for Public Procurement as fundamental tenets of the procurement profession. And final whereas, NIGP, that's the procurement organization, has proclaimed the month of March as Procurement Month to further expand the awareness of purchasing professionals' roles to government officials, the general public, business, and corporate leaders. Oh, one more whereas. Whereas we urge all citizens to recognize the role of purchasing and materials management professionals with business, industry, and government. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Council of Southwest Ranches do hereby proclaim March 2025 as Procurement Month. Emil, do you have anything to say about Procurement Month?
No, thank you. It's a great honor. We have this new member of the team actually being the first time doing this presentation. Christina Semirado, the procurement officer. We're happy to take pictures after the meeting
Fantastic.
for publication.
Sure. Congratulations on our first Procurement Month. Okay. All right. So, David, do you have something you want to tell me?
Any public comment or no?
Yeah, David just passed me some very, very, very sad news. For those who know Sandra Farah, and she's been very active in our community. She's also very active in Sunshine Ranches. She just lost her daughter Danielle to suicide. Yeah, she's the daughter of Sandra and Carlos Farah. Very, very sad thing. Horrible. I've met her. I knew the woman. Yeah, why don't we do a moment of silence to recognize this? Okay, thank you. All right, this evening, we'll start off with public comment. Are there any public comments, Keith? No. None? Wow. All right. Board reports. It's all right, George, you're off the hook. Debbie's going to do a board report. At least we have one.
Only because I said I'd do it. Alrighty. So first, on behalf of the Ed Board, just so everybody knows, the flamingos have now gone home to roost for till next year. It was extremely successful. We raised over $18,000. You know how they say it takes a village? This is one of those. It screams it out, because we had flamingo flocks for the whole month of February out in every section, all 4 sections of town. So that means this the 18,000 was brought in by everyone throughout the town. So thanks to everybody that supported it.
Congratulations.
And a special shout out to my student volunteer, Savannah. She's such a wonderful, responsible young lady. And without her dedication for every single day, she worked on this for the month of February.
Who is your volunteer?
Savannah Hodgers.
Ah, thank you, Savannah.
Yeah, your daughter retired this year.
Yes, she graduated college.
She had been my partner in crime, yes.
And Robin Ditzian?
And our special, and our special superwoman who volunteered from the women's group, Robin Ditzian, was amazing. Alrighty, and then on behalf of the Zero Waste Advisory Board, Harold sends his regrets for not being able to be here, but he asked me to give a brief report. So, yeah, and in the spirit of the procurement proclamation, we're looking forward to having the draft RFP for the Zero Waste Consultant Service Agreement to review at our next Zero Waste Advisory Board meeting. So hopefully we can then pass that on to the town council for maybe the first meeting in April.
Great.
At this last advisory board meeting last week, we heard a presentation by WM and the Florida Beverage Association. And representatives from WM gave kudos to the town of Southwest Ranches for standing out amongst all the cities they service in Broward County as being true leaders and leading by example. We've requested more information about a program that's offered by the Florida Beverage Associations. It's called Every Bottle Back Program, and we've asked for more information to see if maybe that's a program we can implement in town. We're also exploring zero waste programs to try to incorporate in our area schools, and continue to look at grant opportunities and partnering with other municipalities. And as always, we invite residents to attend and participate in the Zero Waste Advisory Board meeting that's held the first Tuesday of each month. So, thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Uh-oh.
Why not? Debbie inspired me. George Morris, Vice Chair of the Astronaut Foundation, Southwest Ranches Park Foundation. I've mentioned a few times before, the car show, the carnival was a great success. We did very well this year and better than other years combined, so congratulations to Rick Bell, our president, and our entire team. I did want to mention with regards to other things that we're thinking about doing, I have mentioned it some different times, but a pumpkin patch in October. We're trying to get something going on there that would be for the community. It would be more in the daytime for families, close, late evening, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, something like that. Open up in the afternoon.
Over at the
5
Preserve?
days would be in the first, or about the second week of October. We would have it fenced off. People would pay a flat admission to get in. It would include a pumpkin. We would have rides, carnival rides, kids rides, cotton candy, pumpkin patch, photo opportunities, things like that. So we're in the process of creating something great for our community on that field over there, and looking forward to coming to you guys with some more detail and things of that nature. It's kind of developing as we talk. I'm not sure if I have the consensus of the council, if they would be okay with doing something like that in October, but you need to talk amongst yourselves. I just wanted to bring it to the forefront. And another thing our foundation was thinking about doing with respect to raising money was doing a food truck event once a month at the carnival site. I call it the carnival site. At some prescribed time, a couple hours during, let's say on a Tuesday of the first Tuesday of each month, something like that. We haven't got to that point of what day. Just want to make sure you guys would support that. Maybe 4 or 5 trucks to start off with. We have a light we could put out there, some tables, and just see what we can do to try and raise money. It's not going to raise a lot, but something, and it might take off, it might not, it might grow, but of course we would do it within the confines of any rules or restrictions of the town. So if anybody objects to that, let me know. I'll stop it here. If you guys,
Well, George, I'm not opposed to the idea. I mean, I hadn't thought about it before, but I think we probably want them to be as green as possible, you know, in terms of composting and recycling
oh yeah,
and doing
no,
all
no,
the good stuff.
our team has discussed that before, as well as we've implemented those sorts of things in the past with regards to Chili Fest. We actually used, we use recycled chili spoons.
Good.
We use recycled chili
But
containers.
that's easily under your control. Food trucks are a different story.
Correct.
But you've
No,
gotta let them know
I
the
agree
rules up
100%.
front.
That if that needs to be one of the provisions and reach out to the food trucks, I'm sure we can get them on board with regards to recycled stuff. We don't want any debris left behind. We don't want straws. We don't want choking hazards.
Right.
I understand that. So we're definitely in support of that. We could have recycled containers out there, et cetera.
I'd suggest you get in touch with Debbie and the Zero Waste Advisory Board, and maybe they can give you some guidance on it.
Sure, absolutely. We
Good.
certainly would be open to that, any sort of rules.
Closer to
But
a yes, thank you.
yes. On that note, that's pretty much it. Thank you for your time.
Good. Thank you, George. All right. Next up is council member comments, but I just wanted to make a quick comment before Gary goes. I know Steve's been sensitive to us consuming a lot of time, and I think we're all guilty of it from time to time. Of course, we never intend to go more than a few minutes, but it happens. What I was thinking is maybe we can have just an agreement amongst ourselves to try to limit ourselves to no more than 10 minutes. Now, honestly, sometimes it's going to take longer, and I don't think anybody's going to go after you, but maybe somebody named Dan could keep track and let us know, you know, there you go, he's already got it all set up. And let us know when we're out of time, because we tend not to look in that direction. Is he still there? Steve, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, good, good. All right, Gary.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, I like that suggestion, and I like the fact that it's, you know, kind of a recommendation, and we can all, because we all go over it on occasion, but it's good because if we can keep it to a reasonable length, then I think that keeps residents more engaged and all the way to the end of the meeting.
Yep. All right, you're up, Gary.
Thank you very much. And greetings, Mayor. Hopefully you don't find the Tasmanian devil in the Tasmanian Sea. But we're glad to hear from
That's
you.
where we're headed, Tasmania.
So, at any rate, glad you're here. Just a few things to go over. I'll be really, really brief. And by the way, I think I've only gone over 10 minutes, maybe twice in 15 years. So there's no problem for me on that one. Just a couple of items of note. First off, thank you all for coming. And for those of you out in YouTube land, thank you for viewing. The Debbie Goff Memorial is going to be held at the barn from 6 to 8 on the 26th of March. We have the Parks Board bingo on the 22nd of March. It's $30 with dinner included. We have the 5K coming up on the April the 5th. Get there about 6:30 in the morning. It's at the barn, and it's a sanctioned 5K, so everything will be official. You can walk, run. In my case, probably be crawl. In April, we have the egg hunt on the 12th, I believe it is, from 11 to 12 p.m. Is when it starts. The Easter Bunny will be there. You can get your pictures taken with it, family pictures, and Bob graciously takes the pictures, and there's no charge for them. It's really a wonderful situation that we have, that we all provide. The Broward County Property Appraiser comes the first Tuesday of each month, and they have an ag specialist accompany them if you have any questions concerning agriculture within the county. The DMV Flowmobile is solidly booked for the 26th Normally, there may be some cancellations, but you would need to contact the birthday girl, Deborah, down there, to find out if there's any openings. So, anyway, happy birthday, Deborah. So it's officially known. I just wanted to make it official, that's all. And told you were going to have a good day today. And start putting in for the following month if it's booked up, if you can't get in. Water Matters was last weekend. It was a great success. We were awarded the Emerald Award. Myself and December were up on the stage. We met with the Broward County Commissioners, Senator Geller and Senator Nan Rich up there. It was a very, very good presentation that they had. And the award will be placed in the lobby in Town Hall. Is that correct? Okay. All right, well, we'll have a picture of it or something, I'm saying. So anyway, Water Matters and it was very, very crowded and very, very successful. December and her team put together a fantastic booth, as usual, that everybody flocked to because it was the only one that probably had enough easy chairs, had a round deck chair for like a half a dozen to a dozen people to sit in. So it was really great. We have the 25th anniversary silver birthday party at the barn with a parade at 10 a.m., 10 to 3 from the 7th of June. And they're serving barbecue. It's a big barbecue that's happening, and it's all it's no cost to the residents. There's a lot of stuff going on. We have water slides. We have all kinds of activities for the kids. And I'm looking at the different things, and the parade when we get there in the morning. So it should be a great day for all, so everybody come to that. And then we have hazmat at the barn on the 3rd of May. We have shredding from, reading my notes, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. and drug prescription drop-off for the Davie Police from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you want to get rid of old paint, electronics, all that, insecticides, stuff like that have been kicking around in your garage and they're no good anymore, that would be the place to drop it off. And Vice Mayor, that's all I have. And Mayor, I hope you're having a great time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Gary.
Thank
Would
you.
like to go, David?
Next. Yep. Thanks, folks. David Kaczynski, District 4. Thank you to everybody who took time out of their busy evenings to show up tonight. I'm going to begin. One of my residents called me earlier in the week. She went online, our webpage. She goes to the tab for permits. She prints out a permit, fills it all out, knows all the details of filling out, came here to submit it, and she found out that it's required for, they have to use the kiosk now. So I asked Deborah and Russell, and they're working on this, to eliminate the duplicative paper permit applications on the website because they're required to use the kiosk for submitting the permit. So that's being done. Next, I want to say happy birthday again, Deborah. You let us know that you were on Hiatus Road earlier, your phone giving us directions with Siri. That was fun.
I don't know.
I just have to, just teasing you. Also, happy birthday to Elizabeth Eskenazi. Her birthday is also today. Last, I'm going to go on this. We were handed this impact of proposed legislation on Broward County municipalities. One of the big issues that's affecting every person that's a property owner in this town is this bird-brain idea from Governor DeSantis to eliminate property taxes. If that happens, if that passes, it's going to affect 40% of the town budget. And it will, it's going to take, that amount is even less than the entire public safety contract that we have. So we would end up having to do a separate tax for public safety. The problem for every one of you is, once we have a separate category, I believe if it applies like the other separate assessments, you can't use that as a write-off on your income taxes. So it's going to adversely affect you. So if it gets on the ballot, got to vote no on this thing because it's going to hurt the town and your pocket. That does it for me.
That just amazes me. What are we going to do? Have raffles so we can have a fire department and a police department?
Sure,
Do
that's what it sounds like.
fundraisers. Yeah, the Easter Bunny will charge $50 a shot.
Yep.
Crazy, crazy. All right, Jim?
Bob, the raffle, you want to get Richard Sullivan. He has the longest arms, okay? That's how you do it. You don't get somebody with short arms, you get somebody with long arms. Thank you, Vice Mayor. I want to thank the staff of the town. I attended 2 events here this past week that were absolutely amazing. The first one was the cyber class that was given. I didn't realize just how intent the criminals are on getting your information. They'll do everything in the world. I heard about fishing, I heard about surfing, I heard about skateboarding, all these different terms that are used to get your information. It's amazing what they're doing. They had an interviewer go out and speak to people on the street, and within 5 minutes, every person she spoke to had given her their password. She'd simply say, "What's your password?" She'd say, it's my dog's name. "Well, how is your dog? How old is your dog? What's your dog's name?" "My dog's name is Mark." Now, see, she's already told. So this went on and on until they had the whole password. Don't give anyone your personal information. Don't give anyone anything that they can use. Keep a strong password. That's something I didn't realize also. Passwords are very difficult for me to remember. I have them written down in a book, and it's locked in the safe, and every day I have to open the safe and get it out, all right? Some of them are strong, some aren't, but keep a strong password. That was absolutely essential, and the class was excellent, so thank you for allowing me to attend that. Also, I attended the Ranchers Academy. Mayor, thank you for having that. Very informative. Each department, I will say, that spoke gave an excellent report on their particular department. It was really amazing. I am looking forward to next Wednesday at 6 o'clock to hear the other departments, and I encourage those that did sign up. All right, it's a 2-day event. I don't know if some of you realized that it was a 2-day event, but next Wednesday is the second part of it. I'd love to see the place filled up. I think there were 23 or 24 people signed up, and not many showed up. So if you did sign up, love to see you here. Let me follow up a little bit on what David just said. The Broward League of Cities, with the 31 municipalities, are all fighting the 3 bills that are in Tallahassee right now. It's the property tax, local business tax, and the sovereign immunity. All 3 of those would absolutely, if passed, devastate most towns in Broward County, even towns like Hollywood. Hollywood said they'd lose $40 million. That's probably 3/4 of their police budget. That's amazing how a simple bill like that could wipe it out. And what would happen, like David said, every person would be assessed a special fee, and that would hurt everybody because not everybody pays the same taxes. The big houses pay more, smaller houses would save our homes pay less. But with a special assessment, everybody'd pay the same. So that's a bad one. So that's not good.
That would also affect veterans.
Yeah. The bus stop situation, we have 3 bus stops on Dykes Road. One of them affects us directly in that it's located at 53rd Court. It's the northbound lane on Dykes. There are 6 students assigned there. 2 currently ride the bus. I was there with the school board member and our school board representative, and early in the morning, I was there just after daylight savings time kicked in. It is pitch black there. We've looked at putting a slab and a guardrail. I don't think that we need the slab. That would have cost $17,000. I think we can get away with just a guardrail there. Also, we want to try and put up a speed limit sign, one of the flashing speed limit signs, with a big sign saying school bus stop, so people will think they're still in a school zone to slow them down. Ask for extra patrols on Dykes Road at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. They come flying through there. I know darn well they're running over 60, 70 mile an hour. When they go by you and you can't even see the car hardly, it's amazing. So that's just some of the things that's taking place. I want to wish Miss Deborah a happy birthday. She has been a great help for me with my campaign. Anytime I had a question, anytime there was a concern or whatever, she'd walk me through the paperwork. So I greatly appreciate that. And lastly, the Town Safety and Traffic Board. We're back in session. Last year, they spoke about possibly coming up with a nomination for our own officer here in Southwest Ranches as an honoree for an award, for a special award. This year we did. We chose Officer Nunez. And Officer Nunez, let me read just real quickly, if I could here, what happened that made him an outstanding officer, all right? While on patrol, Officer Nunez observed a vehicle making an unlawful U-turn. Now, this is at 1:15 in the morning, and it's at the 6700 block of Dykes Road, all right? He initiated a stop, made contact with the sole occupant of the car. Teletype revealed an active warrant for violation out of Puerto Rico, gun violation. They were willing to extradite, so he was taken into custody. There was a Glock handgun with a loaded 30-round magazine on his person. An inventory of the vehicle revealed a duffel bag in the trunk containing 18 kilos of cocaine and fentanyl. So this detective took that off the streets at 1 o'clock in the morning because somebody made an illegal U-turn. That's how diligent they are, and that's how much they're paying attention. So thank you to the officer. He will get the award on the 18th. Davey has their award ceremony coming, so I believe Russell and I will be there to attend. But I want to say thank you to the officer. It was a great stop. And that's all I have, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Bob,
Yeah,
if I
Gary,
may,
you had
just,
something to say?
I forgot to mention this in my talk. Apparently Broward County is following our lead on, right after, about 186th, where Griffin Road goes from 2 lanes to 1 lane, and over by 199th on the corner, they're putting in speed pole signs like we have, where
Yeah.
it's, I just saw them today as
Yeah.
I was going down back and forth. So they're following our lead on that, which will help
They
slow
start
down.
flashing at 35 miles an hour, though.
Oh,
I let Russell know.
Okay.
You're speeding at that speed on Griffin Road, so we need to get him to fix that.
Yeah. Well, the one right by 186 was facing the school.
Oh, really?
It was turned. It wasn't.
Interesting.
Wasn't active. So I did not.
That's the one that was flashing the wrong speed last week.
Yeah, they're apparently we're working on it or
Yeah,
whatever. you know.
good.
So anyway, I just want to make mention that
Yeah.
Broward County's following our lead on that, which should help, hopefully, with the speed out
Let's
west.
hope so, yeah.
You know.
We're going to put one also to the east of that. I need to see, where's the one, 199th, you said?
Yeah, right on the corner of 199.
Okay. I'm wondering then if we should put one 2 blocks before that. That was one of the ones that I nominated to put. I was going to put one on Griffin Road also, but a little bit to the west of.
Yeah, well, these are all Broward County now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, hey, we don't need them that close, though.
Yeah.
Good. All right, I'll talk to
I
Russell
just
about
wanted,
that.
I just wanted to bring that up. I forgot.
Sure,
Forgot
sure.
about it earlier.
Good. I'll go, and then we'll leave cleanup to the mayor. So just a couple of quick things that have also come out of the Public Safety Board that Jim put together. We've been talking about how we have a lot of sand and gravel trucks in town. We have a lot of low boys because there's so much construction going on. And a week doesn't go past where you don't see one of those sand and gravel trucks more than topped off. You know, the fill is 3 feet higher than the bed of the truck, which means it's overloaded. And when those things are overloaded, it's not by 50 pounds. It can be into the thousands of pounds. So Russell has been working with FHP to get a detail out here, and I believe they're going to be out on a periodic basis. I don't want to go into when, where, or how, but they will be patrolling our roads for commercial vehicle enforcement. Now, they won't be pulling, it'll be FHP. They won't be pulling people over for speeding, although I'd love it. However, they will be looking at overloaded dump trucks. They'll be looking at low boys that have two pieces of equipment on instead of one. That's not infrequent out here. And any other types of commercial vehicle violations. You know, one of my pet peeves is you see the landscape maintenance trucks going down Griffin Road, and their bed is full of chips from the last job that they did, a wood chipping job, and it's blowing out all over Griffin Road from wherever they get on to wherever they get off. I see it all the time. So it's, you know, they're not going to be focusing on that. They're going to really be out there to protect our roads. I'm not sure if everybody's aware, but overweight vehicles, and we're talking about the big stuff, not an overweight car, but an overweight sand and gravel truck, they wear out our roads a lot more quickly than if they're complying with the law. So that's one thing that came out. Also, you know, I've always felt strongly about having Davie PD here and looking for every opportunity to add to the police force we have out here. And Russell's done a great job of getting additional details assigned, particularly around speeding. Around the holidays, they were looking for breaking and entering and burglary and all that sort of thing. And our numbers showed that it apparently worked because we didn't have any burglaries over Christmas, which is unusual. I mean, I don't remember a holiday season where that had happened. So the additional details that he's bringing out are helping. But I also asked him to look into, you know, what's the threshold on getting another police officer? Do we need one? What would it cost? You know, the details only go so far. It's for a period of time. We don't have them every day. Again, they're out there looking for people doing the wrong thing. But, you know, what would it take to get more police officers? And everybody's sitting down. Good. The cost for an additional police officer, now realize this isn't just salary and benefits, but they're also provided a vehicle. They also have uniforms and all sorts of other things. But it would be about $264,000 per officer to add. Now, that's one officer. If you're going to add an additional officer to the shifts that we have, it actually requires 9 officers to cover that new spot that we create, to have all 3 shifts covered. So there's somebody to cover when they're on vacation, when they have to go downtown, when they're not in service. So if we wanted to add an officer, and this is really for the council's benefit, if we want to add an additional officer around the clock, like the other officers that work here, we need about $2.3 million in additional police costs. So I'm not sure if we're ready for that yet, particularly if they cut property tax. But I think the number was interesting, and thank you, Russell, for doing the research. I guess we'll talk about that next year budget time if we feel we need another police officer around the clock.
Bob, do you need a motion?
No, this is really just for, oh, you want one?
No.
How many more cops do you want? All right. So Jim had mentioned Officer of the Year and Officer Nunez, and he also called out the service that he provided the town, the extraordinary service. Something else I was talking to Russell, and again, this is more to the council. Davie, across the board, does their Officer of the Year. I'd like to do our own Officer of the Year. Now, obviously, it's the same person, but recognize them here at a council meeting. And as well, Russell, we all get an email every now and then from a resident on, you know, something meritorious that one of our officers has done. I've gotten a number of them on Officer Lowe over the years. There have been a couple of different officers that residents have sent me notes on. I lived in a place called Margate once upon a time, and our next-door neighbors were a family of cops, and we got to know how Margate works because we lived there for a while. And they do something, it's a meritorious service award, and that's really to call out the good work that the officers do, that you know, a resident has recognized them. So what I wanted to propose is maybe twice a year we do a meritorious service call out to the Davie PD for any letters we receive. So if you receive a letter from a resident, any of us, forward it maybe to Russell. And he and I haven't worked out a procedure, so I'm kind of winging it here right now. But if you guys agree, then, you know, say in June and December, or maybe, you know, tying it to the Davie Officer of the Year, we invite them in. We thank them, maybe we have a proclamation, do whatever we can to honor them and the great work they're doing. I don't know if you guys have any comments on that. Any thoughts?
Sounds good. I'm okay.
Russell, you okay with us forwarding the letters to you?
Yeah, I typically get them because often what happens is that Davie PD is notified and then they share that with me, and then it's usually the reverse. But if you get something, please share it with me. And as far as the program itself, we can certainly draft something and bring it forward. I think this is something prime for the Public Safety and Traffic Committee to give some input on as well. So,
Good.
yeah, we can definitely do that.
Good.
Thank
Thank
you, Bob.
All right, and we just need to figure out some dates based on when Davy does their Officer of the Year, because we can tie to that, and then also something at the 6 months later. Good. So I had an opportunity on Monday to listen to the governor's state of the state. And cutting property taxes was one thing he discussed. He discussed all sorts of accomplishments, and some of them I certainly support. One of the things that he also started on his soapbox on is how much money the municipalities and county governments are taking in because of the extraordinary increase in Florida property values. And he is encouraging the legislature to look at ways to cap how much we increase on an annual basis. So as everybody knows, our taxes go up whether we like it or not when you have homestead 3% per year. If the property isn't homesteaded, then you go up whatever the fair market value is according to the property appraiser's office. However, if you were to do a major improvement on your house, the property appraiser's office will come in. Let's say you add a garage, and that garage was $150,000 to build, and they will increase your property value by about $150,000. And of course, that is added to your ad valorem taxes as part of the millage rate. Now, we've done a spectacular job here on the council of keeping our taxes flat. It's been a long time since we had a tax increase other than the annual 3%, but I'm talking ad valorem taxes. I don't know what they're going to do, but we need to keep an eye on this. Now, something I wanted to throw out real quick, and this will be my last comment. Given the three things that League of Cities is going after and these other things, does it make sense to ask Robin to come see us so she can help us get the word out, either through our lobbyists or if there's an email chain she wants to send us to particular legislatures to either support or not support some of these initiatives? Maybe that would be helpful, Russell, but I don't know what you guys think.
If I may?
Please.
Vice Mayor? Yeah, so I have been in contact with Robin about these issues. Particularly, she just reached out to me related to the business tax receipts issue. So she is monitoring. She's concerned about every municipality that she represents and the impacts that it has on them. We could certainly invite her, but she's up in session right now, so it'd be very difficult to get her to come down. Maybe a phone call, or if we can set up a conference call during a meeting, possibly. But I know that she would be very interested in assisting in any way she can. Our lobbyists are monitoring this as well for us, and also the League of Cities, not only the Broward League of Cities, but the Florida League of Cities is also monitoring these issues because it has a severe impact, can have a substantial impact on municipalities. So, this issue affects every city in the state. We're not alone in this issue, and so there's going to be a lot of firepower against these proposals. But again, the prospect of cutting my property taxes sounds great. We're all
Sure.
property taxes, every single one of us on this dais, and it sounds great, but the implications obviously have to be considered. And so I know that Robin, our lobbyist, and everybody else is watching this issue closely.
Good. Thank you, Russell. I reclaim 30 seconds of my time. Dan? Kidding. All right, that's all I have tonight. Steve, do you have any comments for us?
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Appreciate you running the meeting. Sounds good. And I just want to say I really appreciate the expertise and everything that we've got both on the council and administration, that I can go on a trip like this and feel comfortable that everything is working well. So thank you all for your dedication and all that you do to keep things running well. I just want to also just add my congratulations to Officer Nunez. We are just so fortunate to have this partnership with the Davie PD and all they do for us, the way they really become part of our community and look after our residents in our town is awesome. And we're fortunate to have that. And I think it's great to have the opportunity to recognize an officer each year. And I love your idea about the commendations and doing that a couple times a year. I just think we cannot, express our gratitude too many times for that, because they just do a great job for us, and we appreciate all they do. And then the last thing, I'm going to be very quick. So the last thing is I just wanted to appreciate, Jim, you bringing up the Ranchers Academy. And I'm super excited about that. And I really appreciate all the work that administration has gone in, has put into their presentations to make it a success. And I was discussing with Russell in a meeting earlier today on ways to improve it, which is what we knew. We said that ahead of time, that we're going to improve this time over time. And so we already have some great ideas on things that can make it even better next time. But if you were not able to make it this week, please check it out and come by on the 19th next week. And I would love to hear from you, any recommendations, suggestions you have. But I want to go back to just the basics of why we're doing this. And that has to do with the core of who we are. And we are working to preserve our rural lifestyle. That's why we all moved out here. It's what attracts us. It's what makes us the place that we are, the special place that we are. And so often we're on defense of things happening around us, where we have to defend that rural lifestyle in one way or another. And this is a way that we can be proactive and get ahead of the game. So please come out and support us. Please contact me afterwards. I'd love to hear your thoughts, things that you like, things that you thought could be improved, because this is a big step forward for us. So with that, I'll turn it over, and thank you all for all that you're doing.
Thank you, Steve. All righty, that wraps up council member comments. Keith, any legal comments?
None. Passing to Russell.
All right, Russell, that was quick.
Thank you.
You'll be exceedingly brief as well, right?
I've just been given a 2-minute time limit. I'll try to make it 30 seconds. I do have a couple of quick things. Vice Mayor, thank you. Just a couple things. I have spoken to our external affairs representative from FP&L about some initiatives that FP&L is working on and will be bringing forward. He and I will be meeting on April 1st, interestingly enough, that day. But under the guise of bringing forward an opportunity for them to talk about some of the initiatives that they're bringing forward at the first meeting in April, which I believe is going to be April 10th. So some of the things that they're going to talk about is the proposed FP&L rate hike, which I know is a cause of concern, but he'll address that. They also are starting a new initiative called Drone in a Box, and so they want to explain what that program is, which will basically allow them to utilize drone technology to assess critical infrastructure that they have that might be down. Utilizing the drone will allow them to get out and be more responsive to those concerns and get power up quicker. The location that they propose to use the drone for would be the location off of 190th, that substation that's out there only. So they would basically utilize that from a fixed location, fly it out to that location on a dedicated route, and it would be able to do a flyover there, assess what's going on with it, so that when crews arrive, they already have an idea of what the issue is, and be able to respond a lot quicker. And then the other thing that they want to address, or we will have them, I've asked them to address, is the issue that was brought up previously related to the directional boring concerns. So we want to have them address that. So again, plan on having them out on April 10th to talk about those issues. The other thing that I wanted to bring up really quickly, Vice Mayor, is the town will be initiating a residential composting pilot program. And we plan on having that initiative started in June of this year. So you'll start to see some education about that, some social media posts, constant contact posts about it. We are going to look for 100 residents 100 residences to partner with the town to be participants in this residential program. We budgeted for this program already. So basically what this would do we would started up with the first full year of the program at the town expense. And so whoever signs up for it, it would be on a first-come, first-served basis until the set number that we reach. And basically, people would be provided a container where they can put in their organic material. It would be taken and picked up off-site twice a month, taken off-site to be composted, and then that resident can request that the organic material that results from the composting program be returned to them for use in their gardens. So we're excited about that prospect, and again, you'll hear more about that. That should be starting in June of this year. And then lastly, I just want to also wish my favorite town clerk, Deborah Resga, happy birthday. So happy birthday.
I forgot. Happy birthday. You're through, Russell? Thank you. All righty. Before we move on to the resolutions, there's two similar resolutions here. Something we've gotten away from that I was at a Weston meeting recently, and I was reminded we used to do it as well. After the clerk reads the resolution into the record, over at Weston, they spend 2 minutes and explain what it is. For us up here, we've all read, the agenda for today, all the backup. We understand this stuff, and, we can do this all in shorthand because we've read it. We've discussed it potentially with Russell or whoever the town employees are that are involved in it. But I realize for the people here in the audience, and particularly the folks out on YouTube who might be joining us for the first time, they don't understand the shorthand. So if you could just spend 30, and these are both the same, so you probably don't need to do it twice, but maybe you could spend 30 seconds on what these are after Deborah reads them. And Keith, you wanted to make a comment?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. So on the complex one, we generally always try to give explanation from staff. I will tell you that unlike Weston, every resolution that we draft tries to explain in the header exactly what that resolution does. 50%, maybe 60% of the municipalities, their resolutions say absolutely nothing, okay? So I've always felt that the resolution header should convey the story so that people know what the item is and not just resolution of the town and go forward. But absolutely, if there's something that deserves or warrants additional comment from either Russell, other staff, or myself, we're always happy to do it. But
Perfect.
Especially like these, when you read the header, it says what it is. They're connecting to water.
These are simple.
Right.
For us, though,
Yeah.
again, connecting to water, why does somebody need to connect to water? I thought we're all on wells. So again, I'm trying to address the YouTube land.
Not a
But,
problem.
Russell, we can put polls on YouTube, can't we? I do YouTube all the time, and you can put polls out there, and maybe we want to ask some of these questions of the audience if we can do that legally.
I'll be sure to ask the 5 listeners what their opinions are.
Okay.
I understand the point. I'm making light of it, but
Yeah, no. I think it's important, that's all. Again, we all speak in shorthand up here, but it's lost on some of the people that are listening.
if I can just add to what the town attorney said, we also have, unlike some cities, we do have a council memorandum that further explains what these items are. So obviously, not everybody takes the time to read that, I get
Right,
it. But,
right.
and so if that's the council's desire, we certainly can do that. But we do try to put out as much information as possible so people have an understanding of what's being before the
Good,
council.
Good. And Keith, I congratulate you on them being extraordinarily succinct and very descriptive. Thank you.
We try.
I know you try. Thank you. All right, so Deborah, if you would, take item 9 and read it into the record.
Certainly, Vice Mayor. This is a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, consenting to the City of Sunrise providing water services to 5601 Thoroughbred Lane, real property lying within the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, providing that no further expansion of service shall be permitted without the explicit written consent of the town, providing for a certified copy of this resolution to be furnished to the City of Sunrise, and providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any,
Do you want us to explain it? Vice Mayor, the property located at 5601 Thoroughbred doesn't have municipal water supply. They desire to have it under our agreement with both Sunrise, Cooper City, and eventually Pines. They have to seek our consent before they're allowed to hook up to their lines.
perfect. Thank you, Keith. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any conversation, any discussion amongst the council?
Nope.
Any public comment? All right, moving right along. Deborah, would you take the vote?
Yes, sir. Councilmember Albritton?
Yes.
Councilmember Jablonski?
Yes.
Councilmember Kaczynski?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman?
Yes.
Mayor Bright Cruz?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Deborah. All right, motion passes. All right, let's move on to item 10. Deborah, if you would, read it into the record.
Item 10 is a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Southwest Ranches, Florida, agreeing to piggyback onto Clay County contract pricing for the purchase and installation of replacement components and services for the Sunshine Ranches Equestrian Park Playground from Representative Services, Inc., Landscape Structures, Inc., in the amount of not to exceed $56,095, authorizing the mayor, town administrator, and town attorney to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the intent of this resolution and providing for an effective date.
Motion approved.
Second.
Russell?
Vice Mayor, so basically what this item is an agreement, a piggyback agreement with a company that provided the same services for Clay County. And basically, we're piggybacking off of the contract for pricing purposes to replace a portion of the playground equipment at the Sunshine Ranches Equestrian Park. The town council approved in fiscal year '25 budget the first year of, actually a 4-year program to replace all of the equipment at the park. This is the first year of that 4-year program. And we plan on replacing a portion of it basically this year.
Perfect, thank you.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
Russell, will this include some of the equipment that was defaced a few years ago?
I don't recall the specific
Okay.
ones, but I'm certainly, I know Parks and Recreation Director, I know I don't have the title right, I'm sorry, December. December, can you just explain which pieces are going to be replaced? Parks and Recreation and Forestry Director, December
Parks,
Loretano.
Recreation, Forestry Director.
There you go.
Thank you, Russell.
Go ahead.
Good evening, council. Good evening. December Loretano Haynes, Parks Director, and I did plan for replacement of the steel components, the plastic-coated steel components, not the cosmetic repairs, but repairs that are more structural in nature. So we're replacing decks, stairs, a bridge, the components that have really worn over time. That, you know, if we don't replace them, they could represent a safety concern. And in the coming year 2, year 3, and year 4, we will hopefully replace all of those slides and the things that were carved up with people's names.
Thank you, and thank you for your work at the Water Matters Day.
Any further discussion? In December, thank you for keeping our parks looking great. It's a lot of work.
Yep.
All right, Deborah, would you call the question? Oh, sorry, public comment. Any public comment? All right, looks like none. Deborah,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Councilmember Jablonski,
Yes.
Councilmember Kaczynski.
Yes.
Councilmember Albritton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman.
Yes.
Mayor Bright Cruz.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All righty. Our last item is regarding the League of Cities appointment. We need the council to nominate in the form of a motion and a second. I guess we need to nominate our delegate, first alternate, and second alternate.
Vice Mayor,
Yeah,
if I could?
sure.
Vice Mayor, I've had the privilege of sitting there for the past 4 years, and it's been an absolute honor for me to be there. But, you know, there's an old saying, if you're not here, you get in trouble. So seeing as how our mayor is not here currently, all right, I would also like to nominate him as our director, alternate, and the second. So I'd like to.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Second.
Now, we need to hang up before he hears this, okay?
Well, there's a delay because he's on the other side of the planet. So
Okay.
I don't think he's heard us quite
Oh,
yet.
then it's already passed. Okay, thank you.
I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it.
Congratulations,
I knew this
Steve.
was on video, so you could see the expression on my face.
Take a look at the video call.
Oh, my. We can imagine it.
I just thought I'd throw that in there, just in case.
All right.
Just in case.
So do we want to keep things as they are, which I think, Jim, you're our delegate. David, I think you're our first, and I think
Fine.
I'm our second.
I'm fine.
Keep it the same?
The first is Mr. Jablonski.
Oh.
And Mr. David is the second alternate.
Oh, I was told a different order, but I'm
Oh,
fine
okay.
not being
Oh, you're
part-
fine with that, too?
I didn't
That
think I was
too.
sworn in last year. That's why I was wondering. So anyway,
Yeah, I make a motion that we keep everything the same.
okay.
Second.
Yeah, that'd be fine, Vice Mayor, thank you. I'm honored to serve.
Jim does an outstanding job. I mean, I've never seen a guy work a room the way
Yeah.
he does for the benefit of our town.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Just I sit back and watch.
He's
you know.
professional.
Yeah.
And while I have the council here before, they have the swearing-in ceremony the same day that we have our 25th anniversary. So I don't know if council has spoken to Russell, but if you get in touch with Russell, let him know if you thought that you might be able to go. Then I know they'd like for us to buy a sponsorship, a table, and, if enough of the town council be interested in going, then I'll go with the wife, and, we can be there to be sworn in. Like I said, it is the same day, but it's later in the evening. Ours will be over early, so, let Russell know if you think you might be able to make it.
Good.
Call for the vote.
All right. So any further discussion? Any public comment on this monumental occasion? Looks like no. All right, Deborah, would you call the question?
Councilmember Kaczynski.
Yes.
Councilmember Albritton.
Yes.
Councilmember Jablonski.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Hartman.
Yes.
Mayor Bright Cruz.
Yes.
Motion passed.
All righty.
Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Hey,
We
George.
didn't break any
George.
records, but we were close. Thank you, folks, for coming out tonight. Thanks for joining us, Steve.
Bye, Mayor.
Yep. Thank you all. Take care.